start again. Good afternoon, one and all. Well, myself, Dr. Rupa Shampur, a member of Jeevan Council team of BLD DU 3BM Patel Medical Colleges Center, Jaipur. I'm here talking about Jeevan Kaushal. That means it is skills of life. Of these, you will be learning the writing skills, reading skills, communication skills, how to orate, how to represent yourself, and how to handle yourself when you are amidst of multiple problems. Well, amongst these, today I am dealing with leadership skills. Well, coming to what are leadership skills? Leadership skills are referred to learned competencies that leaders are able to demonstrate in performance. Leadership skills. These give people the capacity to influence others, and they are a critical component in successful leadership. Well, as you have all evolved from a very tender age, you must have also observed that during your schooling and your college, you have always seen that there is a monitor for the class. I think all of you must have come across the thing that there is a monitor or a leader in the class. Whom does this class reader represent? The class leader, you have all seen. What would you do? Can anybody reciprocate to me? Am I audible, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, when you all were children, have you all attended your schooling classes? Have you all attended? Hello? It would be good if it is an interactive session. Okay, so what would you do as a leader when you are made a leader or a monitor in the classroom, in your schools, in your tender age, or when you are in a school classes? What would you do? Can anybody give me one example? What were the tasks assigned to you? Anybody? Nobody. Nobody was a leader. Nobody was a monitor in the class. Or have you come across a person who was monitoring you people? Well, since I have received no answers, I would presume that you all have known but a bit submissive and do not want to open up yourselves. Okay, so what the class leader would do is he or she would take down names of those people who are creating menace or chaos in the class, who are not abiding by the rules which are instructed by the teachers. Well, so in such a case, what would happen was that the teacher or the class teacher would come back to the students and would rectify them. Then what in turn the student had to face? The students who wrote the names or who was the leader had to face criticism for those students from those students who reportedly created chaos in the class. Okay, and appreciation from those teachers who appreciation from those students whose names were not given. Didn't that happen in your classes? Okay, now coming to what are these leadership skills? First is the core leadership skills. In this you have administrative and technical skills, interpersonal or human skills, conception and conceptual skills. Now we will see what are these administrative skills. These are the competencies which are needed to carry out the purpose and goals of the organization. Suppose you are all meant to be doctors. Now when you have grown up as doctors, or when you are running an enterprise or an organization that is supposedly supposed to be going to be a hospital, okay, when you should have those competencies which are required, means you should come out as very good doctor. This involves planning, organization of work and coordinating of work activities. For example, you are running a hospital, you should know how to coordinate, how you should plan, how your hospital has to be, where the reception has to be, where your OPD has to be, where your OT has to be, okay, where your IPD or the special rooms or the wards, they have to be situated. Then organizing the work. You have multiple people working under you. Okay, it may be the receptionist, it may be the class 4 workers, it may be the paramedical staff, it may be the other doctors or the your colleagues. So how to organize the work between all these to execute the purpose of your organization. The purpose of your organization is to give the best of the services to the society and the patients who are coming to your hospital. So the competencies which are required for you as a doctor would involve this one as a basic skill. Secondly, it allows the leaders to accomplish the mundane but critically important aspects of leadership. These administrative skills can be divided into three specific skill sets, that is managing people, managing resources and showing technical competence. Now, well, as I have told you, managing people, it is an effective leader connects with people and understand the tasks, the skills required to perform them and to overall environment. This includes helping employees to work as a team, motivating them to do their best and promoting satisfying relationship among the employees. So if you are an effective leader, you can bring about harmony amongst all those employees. As I told you, it could be a receptionist, it could be a finance section person, it could be a class 4 worker, nurses, paramedical staff. There has to be a harmony amongst all these. Okay, that's as humans, when they are being dealt with, there are always shortcomings of each and every person. So as a leader, you come over there, okay, you play a great role over there in making them work as a team. There has to be synchronization. There has to be, and motivate them to give their best, because not everyone at their day are giving their best. Sometimes something is holding them back. So a leader is the one who motivates the people to give their best, and he promotes the satisfying relationship amongst the employees. He occupies the most time. If he is there in the hospital from about say 9 to 1 or 9 to 5, he utilizes the most of that time in bringing out these activities. Involves communicating with multiple stakeholders. Okay, as a team leader, you are supposed to be communicating with all the stakeholders, means all the employees whom you are leading, patients, patient attenders, as well as the others who are being benefited by the presence of your hospital. Management by walking around, that is the general rounds you take in the hospital. So these all aspects are considered when you consider it as a skill of managing people. Now there are something called as human skills. Human skills are having knowledge about and being able to work with people. That is being aware of one's own perspective and others' perspective at the same time. Assisting group members in working cooperatively to achieve common goals. Creating an atmosphere of trust and empowerment of members. Important at all levels of these human skills are important at all levels of organization. Examples of human or people skills are assist group members in working cooperatively as a group to achieve common goals, adapt your own ideas to those of others, create an atmosphere of trust and comfort, and encourage involvement in planning, being sensitive to the needs of others, and motivating others. Well, our second aspect of being a leader was the managing resources. So what do you mean by resources? The resources can be money, supplies, equipment, space. It can be money, manpower, and even your time could be one of the major resources. Anything that is needed to operate an organization is called as managing resources. Managing resources, it requires a leader to be competent in both obtaining and allocating resources. Example, cross-country coach. He is buying new uniforms for his team. The ultimate responsibility of research management rests on the leader. So now the leader is being given certain amount, okay, the amount of money. Now what supplies and what time he invests in it, his decision makes a he plays a great role in deciding that. For example, now as you have seen in this pandemic situation, if at all you were a doctor and you wanted to buy a good surgical instrument, okay, but the current need or the need at this hour would be the need for oxygen. So what would you do? You would reallocate that amount to arranging the resource or the sources for increasing the output of oxygen which is required by the patient. So as a leader, you take that decision and you manage those resources like money or the supplies or the equipment or the space for that matter for the needs of the current situation. Next comes the technical competence. So technical competence involves having specialized knowledge about our work. For example, as a doctor, when you are there or leading a team, okay, you should have the skill to treat patients. Okay, that is the technical competence which is involving in our specialized area. A leader with technical competence understands the intricacies of how the organization functions, and a leader is more effective when he or she has knowledge about the activities the subordinates are asked to perform. A leader is not required to have technical competence in every situation. So, a leader with the technical competence, suppose you know how to perform the surgery well. So, you know the intricacies of how the organization functions, and then leader, you are more effective when you have the knowledge about the activities which your subordinates like the nursing staff, the receptionist or the paramedical staff, what they are supposed to do. If you have knowledge about them, you can ask them to perform it in that way, or you can also find out the loopholes if the assigned activity is not performed in the required way. Okay, so he or she as a leader becomes more effective when he or she has the knowledge about what you are supposed to or your subordinates are asked to perform. Okay. Now coming to the continuation of the same, that is the technical competence. Technical skill, having knowledge about the and being proficient in a specific type of work or activity. Technical skills involve hands-on ability with the product or process. The most important at lower levels of management. Examples of technical skills: competent in a specialized area and ability to use appropriate tools and techniques, understanding what is needed to get the job done, understanding the physical operation, hands-on activity with basic product or process knowledge, producing the actual products a company is designed to produce. Now, what is interpersonal skills? People skills. The interpersonal skills are people skills, the ability that help a leader to work effectively with subordinates, peers, and superiors to accomplish the organizational goals. These can be divided into three specific skill sets: being socially perceptive, showing emotional intelligence, and managing interpersonal conflict. Now, do you mean by being socially perceptive? Being socially perceptive involves understanding the unique needs, goals, and demands of different constituencies, having insight into and awareness of what is important to others, how they are motivated, the problems they face, and how they react to change. Okay, you are supposed to be, as a leader, you should have these ideas and you should then lead the team. Showing emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is a person's ability to understand his or her own and others' emotions. Apply this to life's tasks. Emotional intelligence is the ability to perceive and express emotions, use emotions to facilitate thinking, understand and reason with emotions, Manage emotions effectively. Enhancing emotional intelligence. Leaders need to work on becoming aware of their own emotions. A leader should train to become aware of the emotions of others. A leader needs to learn how to regulate his or her emotions and put them to good use. Handling conflict. Conflict creates the need for change and occurs as the result of change. Conflict is the struggle between two or more individuals over perceived differences regarding substantive issues or relational issues. Although uncomfortable, conflict is not unhealthy nor necessarily bad. If conflict is managed effectively, there is a reduction of stress, an increase in creative problem solving, and improved group relations. What are conceptual skills? Conceptual skills is the ability to do the mental work of shaping, meaning the organizational policy or issues, what the company stands for and where it is going. Conceptual skills involves thinking or cognitive aspects of leadership such as concepts and ideas. These can be divided into three specific skill sets, that is the problem solving, next is strategic planning, and then is the creating vision. So what do you mean by problem solving? Problem solving skills are leaders' cognitive ability or the skill based ability to take corrective action in a problem situation to meet desired objectives. Skills include the following: identifying the problem, generating alternative solutions, then selecting the best solution from among the alternatives and implementing that solution. So, what is the strategic planning? Strategic planning requires developing careful plans of action based on available resources and personnel to achieve a goal. Strategic leaders need to have the ability to learn, capacity to absorb new information and apply it towards new goals, the capacity to adapt, being able to respond quickly to changes in the environment. What is managerial wisdom? It's a deep understanding of people and the environment in which they work. Next is creating vision. Creating vision requires the capacity to challenge people with compelling visions of future. To create vision, a leader needs to set forth a picture of the future that is better than the present. Move others towards a new set of ideas and values that will lead to the future. A leader must implement the vision and model the principles set forth in the vision. Environmental influences. Factors in a leader's situation that lie outside his or her competencies, characteristics, and experiences. The internal environmental influences, for example, outdated technology, it could be the skill level of the employees. External environmental influences like economic, political, or social issues, or the natural disasters which are beyond the control of the leader or the person in charge. To sum up, administrative, interpersonal, conceptual skills play a major role in effective leadership. Through practice and hard work, we can all become better leaders by improving our skills in each of these areas. Well, this is the exercise I would like to do, that is, identify as many leadership skills as you can that you must use on a regular basis to accomplish your goal. Create this list and define how you use this each skill. Can anybody respond to me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so can you identify the number of leadership skills you have? At least one? See, it's more of an interaction as I told you. There are 25 people who have attended this class, isn't it? Sachin, Shreya, okay? So you are not interested in going further with the discussion. See, more of this presentation was just an outline, okay? If you were interactive enough, we could have gone ahead with the discussion and short activities. Okay, Aditi, Amit, anybody? Anybody? We have 38 people in this. Anybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, please tell. Haven't you been or haven't you seen being a leader in the class? Have you not? Okay.
Sorry, ma'am.
Haven't you been a leader in your class in your childhood? Were you not the class monitor? Or have you not seen one
Yes,
class
yes, ma'am.
monitor? You have seen one, right? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
please come
ma'am.
out. Yeah, please come out. See, it's more of a discussion. It's nothing like there is going to be an examination. These are all the steps to prepare you all for your lives. Okay, because there is a leader in every person, every one of you all. That is the reason why class monitors were made, to bring out that leader in you. Okay, as I now already told, that quality of leadership, you would say that why would I need? I'm not going to contest for any elections. But these qualities not only help you there, but it also helps you to successfully overcome the obstacles in running your own enterprise. Okay, right now let us think the scenario that you are all going to be doctors, you all are going to be having huge hospitals and managing the huge hospitals. There, with the other subordinates and other colleagues and the other staff, as a leader, you have got to lead that team. Okay, these skills are to be learned and next passed down to the next generation, or say your colleagues or your friends. Okay, so what do you do when you have a problem? Do you have a class representative now? Do you have a class representative?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay, who is it? Who is the class representative?
Arihant.
Sorry, Arihant. Okay, that's good. Okay, so what does Arihant do in the class? What does Arihant do? Or he hasn't got any chance to do so far? You all can take part in the discussion, right? Okay, since there is no much interaction between you people, I wanted it to be more of an interactive session. You know, as I already told you, this is not something related to your syllabus or something that you need to be giving exams on. Okay, but these are preparing yourself for the exams of your life. Okay, well, I would like to conclude this class. Okay, I hope you have a take home message that every one of you or every one of us has a leader within us. It is up to us to nurture and bring out that leader and help us in leading you throughout your lives. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
నీకు పోయితావడా
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. See, you are opening up to say thank you. But when I asked you some question, you were, Mom, why? Can we have a photograph?